Well, this should be interesting.
This is not ending well.
This is going to.
All right, guys, gather around, gather around. Time for me to tell you how the op is going to be played today. I just went in and added a bunch of caches too of the locals' gear because I thought it would be nice. But anyway, if we open the maps, here's how the AO is going to play out. So there's 2 red markers, a purple marker, 2 blue markers. First blue marker, staging point. That is where we are right now. 2 red markers are as follows. To the south, we have an airbase. That airbase has the 2 helicopters, as well as the fuel vehicles that you'll need to use to basically start taking the vehicles out of the depot. There is also some vehicles there that is also heavily guarded by Rwandan forces. So basically your goal down there is to get the helicopters and a fuel vehicle. You can either airlift the fuel vehicle or you can drive the vehicles, up to you. There might be additional vehicles there, there might be additional caches there, but that place is going to be very quick to be reinforced. I'm not going to tell you exactly how long, but probably within 10 to 20 minutes. Northern position. This town is also where they have, I don't know who marked that with fuel Vix, that's Ron, there's no fuel Vix up there. That is the vehicle depot as well as some civilization. So, that is where you're going to find vehicles in all sorts of variety. They're literally scattered in multiple positions throughout the town. It is your job to basically get them and repair them. Then you move all vehicles to the rally point area. You can start either driving them or airlifting them to that position. There is a guy there that will then change their camo. Once you see a vehicle's camo is changed, air can then move those vehicles over to the drop zone, which is past the border of Rwanda into Tanzania, whatever it's called. But that is when they're considered cashed in. Gear-wise, what you save for yourself, because your initial pay and your bonus pay is all tied to the gear that you start with. But what you take out, you can then add to your inventory. Tanzania, whatever.
Tanzania.
Okay.
That's why I said whatever. Regardless, that is how things are done. Once the locals start detecting a lot of activity around the grower company, they might send forces to investigate, so keep that in mind. If the guy there dies, then we're kind of screwed, so once you start actually moving Vix to him, make sure you're prepared to defend him, because if he dies or gets detained, we're kind of SOL. He's dressed up in like a blue shirt and a hat, like, you know, civilian clothes. He needs anywhere from like 2 to 5 minutes per vehicle, depending on what the vehicle is. But he has a radio. He'll talk to you on 5-0. He totally doesn't sound like me, wink. But yeah, that is what you're going for. So you can either divide and hit these positions, or you can hit them one at a time. Just be aware that they'll be quick to reinforce the other position if they detect the other one's been hit. So be mindful of that. Any questions for me?
I have a
quick
question.
question.
How fortified is the town?
That's for you to find out. Other question.
The guy at the rally point,
Yep.
can we move him somewhere safe, or does he need to be exactly
All of
next
his
to the
equipment to change the camos and do everything is at the grower company. So if you move him, he's not going to be able to do anything. So that's...
I'm there, but I mean, like, can we like move him slightly behind cover or something, or does he need to be in a very specific spot we can't move him from?
He's going to basically be just going up to the vehicles and interacting with them. So wherever you drop the vehicles is where he's going to go, you know? But it has to be near the grower company, so...
So, with Charlotte's idea, we could put the vehicles somewhere safe so he, by happenstance, is safe.
Yeah,
Yes,
so
but-
essentially drop the Vix next to the building, not in the middle of the open.
Yeah, so if you, like, drop him over here, then he has to literally cross a river back and forth to get his supplies to change things per vehicle, so it's ideal to drop them next to that position.
So just drop them in the box Angel put. Awesome.
Because if we don't change the camo, then the Rwandans are going to be able to use their intelligence network to track where the vehicles are sighted going, and then we're kind of SOL.
After when we're finally extracting, if the guy's still alive, do we take him with us, or does he have his own method of getting out?
He has his own method of getting out of here.
Okay.
Good copy. Do we allow him to be fallen to enemy hands, or do we take him out if that was the case?
You'll talk to him locally when he gets with you.
We're not gonna shoot him if he gets captured. He lives here. He's a separate entity
Yeah.
to us.
He can probably bribe them to get out, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't worry about him.
Just in case.
We're not gonna deny enemy assets. We're not gonna
like
commit a. We're not gonna commit a murder.
It's not the
Yeah, I would also recommend we don't kill the people that the, you know, black market reps that we work with contract with us to do these jobs. You know?
There won't be any more jobs.
Unless it's ones that we're trying to kill, in which case that's good.
I'm sure the black market dealer has his own way of making sure the guy's safe. So just let's leave him alive if we can.
Guys, every time we've been told not to kill someone, something bad has happened.
Yep. Anyway, we have a 2-hour, like, I would say at absolute hardest 2-hour, 15-minute, like, hard limit here because I have something at 3 o'clock today. So
Let's go.
let's get started.
Let's go.
So you're taking command, basically. Oh.
Somewhat. Do you want to help?
If you haven't already, load some extra rations in the vehicles for the people that are going to be late coming in here, because there's going to be a few.
I think that should be basically.
Anyway, good luck, have fun. Hey, Phobia, how you doing? This is the Congo Campaign. The main map is on GOS on Bentane, but this is the second quote-unquote bonus contract that they've voted to have. Excuse me. This is one where they're basically provided a bunch of set gear instead of bringing in their own, because they did well in the first one. And whenever you see someone bouncing up and down like that, it means they don't have the map, so it renders them on a different map. So I think Calum has the right one, but yeah, Agram's wrong. So we have a few late joiners coming in, but op is pretty simple. They got to get over here, refuel some helicopters, the refuel trucks. There's 3 different ones just in case one blows up. If all 3 blow up, then they're kind of SOL at that point. Got some bonus caches here with some of the local Rwandans' gear. But after they refuel these helicopters, they have the option of also, you know, mounting up on any of these BTRs, repairing them. And then they can take those vehicles over here. But we also have the vehicle depot up here. I also offered they could do a force split if they wanted to. It just means that this AO is going to be reinforced a bit more, so I'll put some extra troops down. But all of these vehicles are worth money if they're able to get them fully extracted. So every tank and BMP is worth like 1,000. Every BTR or BRDM is like 750, and then every car is like 350. But they got to take them here, where I will then RC and AI here and change out their stuff. I'm going to put a thing here of spray paint. It's going to create a really funny interaction of, they touch it, and then I'm going to go, bro, I can't do what I can do. Like, come on. So, a little funny roleplay interaction. And then they'll use the aircraft to basically bring those vehicles over here, and then whatever's here is counted. So it's a very long process, but let's see if the player base can handle it. I'm alright. I've been better, I've been worse. Just very busy with a lot of things breathing down my neck, you know. Alright. So, on another page, I have to keep track of who's actually participating and who's not. I know Mac Marine went MIA. Agram's trying to join, so I'll take him off the MIA list. The only one that is AFK, or is Mac. He was trying to join, and then he couldn't, so I don't know if he borked his computer or something.
Yeah.
I did design this op in mind to be done with a force split to kind of speed it up, but if they don't, then, you know, things are going to get a bit messy. But anyway, I've got the default troops here. I've got a standard rifle squad here, and then we have like an AT squad if things are messy. Things that aren't kitted in the squads are the marksmen, the medics, and the machine guns, but otherwise it's just the riflemen. I had a weapon choice for the Rwandans, but I decided to give them something a little more umphier, like FALs. So we'll just have to see how things play out from there. But yeah, We have 3 different streams today. This is the first. The second is going to be another Zeus op for the 31st Steel Legion, continuing their 40k campaign. Why did a box... Okay, it's empty, but that's kind of weird that it got launched all the way over there. And then the third thing is we're getting back into Stillwater after their 2-week hiatus. That's going to be late tonight, so... We'll see how things go. I don't know why Daz is tucked away over here, but yeah, weird. How much pain can we expect today? There's no pay for pain, first off, but the main thing is... I don't think there's going to be an issue on pain. I think they're going to be able to relatively clear out these positions easily. My one fear is time, and I think the really big pickup is going to be the bottleneck of getting vehicles changed out and airlifted over while the Rwandan forces start barreling down on this position and even bringing vehicles over to achieve that, which is going to create an interesting differential of they could also steal additional vehicles that come in. But again, it all has to be played by ear. My goal is to make sure they're not able to extract every single vehicle, but there will be a possibility of that happening. So we'll just have to see how things go. So this is my little debug corner. I'm just going to add a few more things to it because why not? My goal, am I going mad? Wait, what? Don't get me wrong, I want them to succeed. I'm never going to build a mission that they're designed to fail unless I specifically state in the mission brief that they are designed to fail, but... You know, if they overstay their welcome, I'm going to make it more and more hard for them to get that settled. Technically, they don't even need to fully repair the vehicles. They could try just airlifting them without fuel. It's just that might be very difficult to do. Some of them that are in the open can be done with that, but that's why there's a lot of camo netting here. But they could bypass that part. But... you know, to get them out, it's going to require a lot of coordination. There could be a lot of creative ways for them to do this scenario, but that's why I have this little bottleneck of they have to bring it to another location before it can be properly extracted. Otherwise, there'd be no stopping the helicopters from just raining down and scooping things up. So I had to do a lot of thought in how to properly balance this entire scenario. Exactly. If they get too greedy, then they're really going to have to pay for it. At the end of the day, though, regardless of if they live or die, they'll get the payout. It's not a half payout like the normal part of the campaign. But they lose all the bonus gear that they've been, you know, fighting to get. Because, you know, they start with extra gear, and then all these guys, you know, they got FALs, they've got decent tiered vests, there's even some field packs. So it's a lot of good mid-tier loot that I'm sure a lot of them want to keep. But these types of ops are kind of meant to mimic the Stillwater pay-for-pain ops of if at least one person makes it out and there's some objectives done. For Stillwater, it's no one loses gear. But since I'm providing the gear, it's just no one gains, you know, the people that die don't gain gear, but they still get some of the payout. Waiting to see if Mac Marine's going to show back up, but I don't see him, so I'll just keep him on the MIA list for now. But yeah, the trick about these choppers, though, is that they're not fueled. So there will have to be a bit of waiting time to bring these out, and then I have one BTR that is armed and crewed. So they do have some RPG 75s provided. One of them should be sufficient to take out a 60, but then we've got, you know, these 2 caches tucked away. The high powers also ain't bad. The grenades aren't bad, but, you know, it's just some FAL ammo and then some spare PKMs if people want to try to rat early. And then I've got, you know, some of the marksmen up here. M76s are all right. Marksman rifles. If they're doing a standard mission, they can pack enough ammo to, you know, rep a pretty nice kill count. But for, like, the onslaught missions, those are the ones where... you want to get a weapon that your opponents are fielding, because otherwise ammo is going to be a struggle, and we saw that at the end of the previous Wednesday operation. But players are going to do this the long way, which is the safer way. It just means I'm going to have like an extra maybe 20 to 40 AI in here just patrolling some of the smaller areas. As we can see, some of them are getting stuck in the town, so... Just means it's going to be a messier CQC fight, but let me just like verify that my mission isn't going to freak the heck out. I should have advanced ballistics on. Yeah, so that's okay, and then medical is also okay. Alright. It's just been a bit finicky because Mac Marine, who's been Zeusing on Wednesdays, has also been changing some settings to server side to debug things, and then I forget that he did that, and then I gotta, like, you know, fix it before the mission. If I don't remember, then, ooh, crazy things happen. But yeah. The other caveat of this is I do have 3 BTRs here, and then this could be a 4th BTR that gets disabled. So the question then becomes, are they going to wait around here as I, you know, throw in some quick QRF to try to push them off the airfield? I'm going to set up some FAR patrols over here. They're not meant to be run into unless they're trying a weird, like, southern approach, but, like, based off of the map and hitting this AO, they should either be coming in from the right side or the left side. We can see that they're selecting the left side. They should be dismounting behind that hill because that should give them some cover through defilade, and then they can use the hill as a little bit of a bumping point. They do have some long-range weapons in the form of some CC-550s with some hunting scopes that can help them pick units off, because if they don't, then they're kind of SOL. The one issue they might run into, though, is BTR is immediately right here, but it's not in an angle to immediately engage them unless they take the high ground. So if they identify that and go low, they should be fine. But these patrols out here kind of represent my ability to immediately send QRF into this AO. And then if they're still there after that, then I'll make things a bit more difficult. Haven't set global AI yet. I'm going to do that now. I reduced the skill level to 35% in the defense op because I was, I recognized that that was a very large op, and if I set it to 50, it would have been a lot harder, but this one, we're going back to 50%. Yeah, Niakala is, fun fact, we did the test op for this campaign, just in terms of, like, what I was feeling for the Romanian mercenaries. Started here, we went on this mountain, and it was, like, massively carved with multiple trenches. That was a few months ago, but that's where I kind of tested the inspiration for this campaign. And, yep, so they dismounted not far enough behind the hill. They did just score a kill, mind you. 2 kills, actually. So they got the machine gunner up there, and they got the static gunner there. One of the main differences between the previous Black Market mission, which was on Angola, and this one is the medical, instead of having medical crates, it's on very specific medical units. Saw GL go forward. Looks like they're trying to deploy some smoke to cover themselves to move up, but it limits the medical even further. So attrition's going to hit a lot harder in this mission compared to the last one. Because Dream's stream is randomly turned to a PowerPoint? Yeah, he sometimes has internet issues. Alright, so we see some of these guys moving low. Some of these guys are just doing that classic smoke over the field. The BTR gun here is literally facing the opposite direction. It might fix itself, though, because now these guys are going in the high ground, but seems a little silly. Miner gets taken out. Sam also gets taken out as he runs up to the front, because they're on a bit of a hill, and anything that's looking up here can shoot at them. I'm a little worried because I think the early attrition of people going down, there's the BTR now shooting. got people starting to come up in breach. Hopefully people are relying on the battle buddy system.
It's behind the walls itself.
They could crawl under and prone AT it. But yeah, if they're going high, they're gonna get cut down here. That's their one mulligan for today. Yep, that's exactly what I was gonna figure they would do.
This is gonna take me down, but
No, his backblast is good. Take the shot, dude. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. See, and it's still recoverable too, but you can see it jibbed. But yeah, no, he added, his backblast was clear. That was a very well done AT shot. Alright, so most of these guys are infiltrating. Reeves is still down, so they're moving him over. So I got this reinforcing group coming around. Calum's now trying to stay low here as he's taking shots. I'm curious to see how many people like swarm the caches though. Again, it's all just mid-tier loot, but we'll see how things go. Also, the medics have free perms today, but oh, yeah, Vampire thing just got crossfired from the window. Another 2.5 minutes, I'll spawn another 3 squads to come in from the south. Dropped 2 people with that. Alright, so we see them now taking cover around the choppers. They need to check the choppers to see that they're out of fuel, though. Got 1 cache up there. We got another cache tucked away over here. So far, so good, but we are starting to see this counter-attacking group starting to mess up a few people over here. What scares me is they're alone. These guys are going to be found in medics, but Storm might be off on his own here, so... We have a lot of people also, you know, sticking together, working on casualties. Base is not fully cleared yet. Pilots are starting to come in here and realize there's no fuel. These planes are also heavily damaged. They could technically use them, but they don't have parachutes. So, if they were to take them off, they... Oh, no, okay, I did leave one with 15. That would be a quick way to deploy out of here, though, so... That would be a funny thing to see. I'm going to start setting up my QRF. We're going to have it come from over here for the first group, and I will include another AT launcher. I'll deploy them in 40 minutes. And then I am just tucked away right there, just in case Max shows up. Tasteful late joining. I completely forgot about him, but yeah, I can just teleport him up. Storm, I think, is going to bleed out and die. Because no one has noticed him up there. Ian almost got run over. Oh, good shot by Pizza there. All right, we're gonna bacon. Tasteful here. Because if I try teleporting him up, it's gonna be like do a weird little debug thing. So that in theory should sling him up there because there's no gear for him here. Angel found one of the caches here. But again, there's not really a lot of good stuff in there. He already has a field pack. He already has everything looted from other guys. Ooh, I'm a little late here. Let me move him up a bit. Alright, starting to move that QRF group up. Broadshore, don't know where he got shot from. Probably the guy in there. Alright, another, at the 44 mark, I'm going to spawn another group in. We're going to slowly start overwhelming the forces here. Looks like they found Storm and they're working on him.
Storm.
He's trying to. He's going to be low on his bleed out timer though, so he's going to need CPR quick.
Fantasy said. I'm gonna start CPR.
No advanced sling. No, I didn't. The fuck you mean I lied?
They're not doing the drop thing.
Why is it not on? It's not on the mod set. That's why.
It is in the mod set.
It's not on the server. That's the issue. And I didn't think about that until now. Okay.
Will be fine. We'll cope.
Is it going to be doable? Because
We cannot take tanks with those.
Well, then you can connect them, can't you? Like you did.
Yeah,
in...
yeah. Just ping. We'll do it that way. Fucking hell.
Yeah.
I forgot about the second mod to put on the command line. I thought it would be a client-side thing, but I guess not. That's annoying. That's one more thing I got a micro. Oh well. Setting up the next platoon. Yeah?
I got the time wrong. Am I still able to join in or no?
Yeah, that's why you got teleported up here.
Oh, I didn't know I got teleported.
Yeah, I teleported you up. I can never get it 100% right, can I? There's nothing for him to kit on, though. Everything got taken. It was like people ran out here to try to rat, and now they're... Now they're having trouble, and you got other people now swarming around the caches here. Pilots need to get a move on. We're just going to have to play a little bit of macro here. All right, next one's going to be at 47, and we're going to start reinforcing like once every minute. Yeah, right, 40 hours of testing. The classic meme. Yeah, so we have the vanilla version of it, which will work for most of the vehicles except for the tanks. Those will have to be pinged, but that's fine. It's like people up here are now getting taken out. I'm gonna Be curious to see where they decide to drop those off. If they start dropping them here, that's fine. But I will also need to start setting up the additional reinforcements around this position.
Confirme. Confirme. Reçu. Confirme.
And another minute. Charlotte has died. Patchwork just got shot in the head. You died. You're dead. Like, GG. Yeah, you're on fatal. You died. Yeah.
First off, side chat not showing up at all. Second,
Don't
I
know.
was still like 240 seconds on bleed out, and I just dropped dead.
You were on fatal. You got mag dumped by AI.
I still what?
The bleed out timer is for your CPR, not for your blood leaving your body.
How the hell did then?
You were on the front line and a whole platoon came up to you. You died. GG.
Oh.
Sorry. Like, you were literally at the front of them, like, how else am I supposed to say that? Like, the more you get shot, posture check, thank you, Nutty. Like, the more you get shot, the more you're gonna bleed out quicker, and that's a different timer than the bleed out timer, quote unquote, which is, your CPR timer. But that timer doesn't measure your blood loss rate, that's just your CPR. It's like, yeah, if you literally are outside looting and an entire platoon walks up on you, yeah, you're gonna get murdered. I'm sorry to say, it happens, you know? There's no comms? Well, oof. But yeah, Char, if...
My leg is broken on the western side. Rick, we got a heavy contact coming down.
It's you. Lost a fatal amount of blood. You dead. At the 50 mark, I'm spawning another platoon. Because at this point, it is time to run. Oh, so I guess I'm going to be starting on this procedure here. Well, no, so again, the bleed out timer that's for CPR and heart rate, and then... Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. Alright, I mean, because the vehicle's already there, I'm just gonna drop it back. Alright, next platoon. I might remove the mod if people are too dumb to... Why is this now magically a problem, you know? Like, that just affects CPR. Like, if people aren't smart enough to realize that I'm just going to remove it because people are now complaining. But look, we have a massive amount of people dead here because they're basically fighting a superior force. I don't know what Lolo's doing all the way out there either. But Bad Juju, thanks for the Twitch raid, buddy. What were you playing? I'm sorry, I'm just microing my players who are just being very, very silly. Bleed out 0.8. I mean, it's always been... It's always been 0.8 in Congo, you know? It's like, what? Why is this 8 missions in? Now it's becoming, why is it so quickly? And fractures have always been on. Yes, like, these settings have been the same the entire time. The only thing I changed was last mission... I set the AI's difficulty down from the 50% accuracy to 35 because I was trying to be nice about it. And then this mission, funny enough, I actually bumped up their 2.5 critical damage threshold to 3.5. No. I know what the difference is. The difference is the general kits that the enemies have had has been a lot of 7.62 by 39 compared to a lot of other guys where... God, no, hold on, I'm butchering the explanation. Basically, all the enemies have 7.62 by 5.1, and they fire it quickly. So it's a bigger bullet than what these guys are normally fighting. And that is what's basically causing quicker fracture rates and all this other stuff, is because they're fighting guys with basically a more powerful weapon. Because it's the Rwandan military compared to all the M23 rebels. So the reason that you're seeing higher fracture rates, quicker bleed out, is because when you're dealing with bigger bullets, instead of creating maybe like a medium avulsion, it's creating a large avulsion, which is killing them, you know, making them bleed out quicker because the wound is larger. And thus, like, takes longer to bandage. If I were to check here, so yeah, you got a medium velocity and a large velocity. You've got large and multiple mediums, multiple smalls. 2 large on the head, that's why he bled out quick. Like, everything took damage here. Do I hear skill issue in the players? I'm not gonna rub salt on the wound, but it is a bit of an oops. And you're seeing people pay for it. Because these side missions are not meant to be easy. They're meant to be actually quite difficult. But that's why the pay is so high, you know? But if people just stick to their battle buddies and realize, hey, we're here literally to get some fuel trucks and some helicopters and run. Like, that is all they need to do. I'm gonna reset him. Yeah, 50 was silent, and I don't... How do I word this? When commands doesn't have a good grip on the squads, usually this is what happens, is they start to fall apart. I'm gonna start pursuing that helicopter with that group right here. These guys all have stick around. One of their trucks got flipped. That's an oof. And it has some of the gear that they ratted from the crates. Oh, that's great. Ground command was supposed to be Mac Marine, but Mac Marine left because he couldn't get the map sorted for some weird reason. So it went to Ian, who was 2IC, I think. And I'm going to be honest, I don't think Ian has a lot of experience commanding. That's the thing with our ground commanders. We either have ground commanders that are a little too quiet and not as firm, or we have some that, I mean, kind of like me. Actually, no, exactly like me, where we do micro a little too much. But what I've come to realize is the commanders that micro a little too much and piss a few people off generally do a lot more They generally do better than the ones that are more quiet. Like, even if they're firm and abrasive, at least they're getting shit done, you know? I just hope they have the transport to move everything. But yeah, we got a bunch of people just kind of holding here. They're trying to move these BTRs. They can immediately bring those BTRs out, but however... Let's have to see how things go. Oh, I think the thing was still connected to the fuel because that made it go crazy, which is kind of funny. But yeah, we just have to do it with the manual Pogway. Oh well. Because I tested it with it advanced towing and that worked, but I totally forgot to put it on the command line. I put Niakala on this morning, but completely forgot about the advanced... Oh no, advanced towing, advanced sling loading. That's it. Because it has to be on server side, not client side. As soon as they start moving things out here, I will have a squad of guys come up here and go like, hey, and I'm just going to go, I don't fucking know, like, it was kind of weird. Crazy, right? Yep.
We disconnected the fuel hose when it was, you know, magnetized, and now this thing's fueling ability is broken.
Oof, we have other fueling Vics.
Well,
shouldn't have left it attached. You basically severed the fuel line, bro. Like, next time, don't do that. Waiting for the ping. I'm gonna be honest, Char, you and Caleb died because you got greedy. I hate to say it, but you both went out of the... You went outside the wire to loot, and that's when the platoon walked up on you. You wanted to loot bodies, and you died. Like, it's a greed thing, you know? You try to cover them? Yeah. Same thing happened to those two players, what was it, Mission 4? Where it was Dragon and somebody else, Dragon and Jesse, and I think Dragon died trying to cover Jesse because Jesse wanted to go away from the main group and loot, as a squad kind of came in, so it happens. Alright, I'm gonna give another 30 seconds. And I got one more BTR there. But yeah, no, so, like, the idea is they left the fuel line in the vehicle as it was slung away, and it broke the fuel line. Yeah, the fuel line snapped because... That's so funny. You actually can see where the fuel thing is connected, and then where the rest of the cord is, so it totally snapped off. Also, those BTRs have a bunch of ammo boxes that have, I think it's 7.62x39 ammo, but I could be wrong. But yeah, this also shows if they stayed there for another, like, few minutes, they'd be dead. So if they didn't move that other BTR and they kept it over there instead, it probably would have caused issues. The rat is strong with the players, exactly. There's barely any fuel left in this, which is funny, but that's okay. Drag him over here, have him start working on that one. They have a bit of downtime. How many KIAs? 7. Out of 28. That is literally 25% of the players died. And we haven't even gotten to the hard part yet. Oh. Yeah, sure. After this op, I'm hoping to have a little bit of downtime after debrief to announce your op. And I won't be able to announce my training op because I haven't finalized it yet. I need to do that tonight. But, oof. Yeah, everything in here has been ratted, though. Yeah, close enough. The 102 mark, I'll change that up. So looks like they blew the cache up there. I don't think this one was ever... No, it was touched. Okay. They took out some of the FALs, some of the ammo. They put an AK in there. Okay. I assume they also ratted the medic's body, at least for the backpack. Yep. How about that? Alright, for debug purposes, I'm going to remove all the stuff down here. Basically for frames, because we don't need to do that part of the mission anymore. World of Rat, exactly. I'll be right back. 1 second. 1 second. Bloodwing wants me to check if we have something, and I don't know if we do, because... what I'm looking for... Alright. So that's the regroup point they're putting. Rest of them are driving past. You know, I haven't had coffee in like a week and a half. I'm trying to wean myself down because I was starting to get like a caffeine addiction. Yeah, I got the engine partially repaired. It looks wonky, I know. It's because if we had that mod, the mod, I set it to be able to tow anything, so... I thought they were keeping it to utilize it, but I guess not. Meanwhile, he's had enough time for this, so I'm going to change. Not its damage, excuse me. It's garage. Are you back? Hi. Okay. Can you check if we have the enchilada sauce then? Because I tried to run up, and then it's because I'm microing a few things in this op, so it's hard for me to, like, run up and grab it, you know? Gotcha. Alright, I can barely hear you, but I think I understood. This is gonna start another timer. Because I told them if they start, you know, bringing over a lot of activity here, it's going to cause issues. So at the 110 mark, I'm going to spawn a squad to come down here and look at things. And they're going to kind of hold them up. Yeah, you get equal payouts regardless of death. But yeah, these guys are already on high alert now, and, you know, they're going to see these choppers, get reports of that, and they're going to start checking other places. So at 110, I'm going to... Well, I can spawn the group now, but... I'll send it in at 110. I think the BTRs are 750 per, but... There's a lot of stuff in this town. Like I said, it can get very lucrative very quickly, but... And then they're flying, you know, close to the town, so they're going to be able to look up and see that, you know, the helicopters that were stolen from the airbase are now up to the north, and they're towing stuff around, so now they know, you know, check somewhere in the north. Yeah. Don't know yet. I'll let you know, okay? As soon as I know, at least. Alright, bye.
I think he wants recon from the helicopters.
Yeah, we've done that. In the black circle, there's vehicles.
They say there's vehicles over there. There's 2 more spots. There's a smaller cache down here that's, you know, tied to a weapon cache. Then we have the, you know, bigger, more valuable cache in here. And then there's also that little extra bit there. All right, I am going to do this one a little bit early. Because I don't want to immediately, like, fail them, you know, but... We'll see. Do have some pretty heavy stuff over here. I got some dishkas and stuff. We'll see how they execute. They'll probably start hitting stuff piecemeal here, though. I had... Oh, yeah, the other BTR's over here. Then reinforcing I'll do every 10 minutes, and then it'll become 5 minutes. Oh my god, what? Did you see that body, like, fly up like that?
BMP's here. I'm pushing over the rock. Yeah. Who's down?
Medic got smacked by something, I don't know what.
Cast eyes on a technical Antre Camonet to the west.
Small thing for me is if I see statics take grenades like full force that should have killed them, I sometimes will get them off if I notice it. Big emphasis of if I notice it, you know. What I think I'm going to do is I'll let them grab the 2 vehicles here and then, you know, have the team come up, I think for tie-in sake. Then again, the other chopper's just chilling here for some weird reason, so... What I'm worried about now is the players' attrition. Because they took 25% casualties, but now they've got some other units in maintenance roles. And if you look, I mean, we've got a frontal assault coming right here. We have multiple people going down. I don't know if they'll have enough. You know?
Yeah.
Because again, 29 people minus me, the zoo slot, so with 7 deaths, that's 7, 14, 21, 28. 75% of the players still alive, 2 of them doing maintenance roles, which leaves like 19 of them. And we have a mass cas here. We got 2 people down right there. We got 2 down here, 1 down there, 1 down there, 1 down there.
Yeah, okay.
It's a bit messy, you know? Because they're doing a force split now, and I think now that they have, you know, they're down to this smaller percentage, this is like the worst idea to try a force split, you know?
For whoever, Hobo.
As soon as this BTR starts lighting up that position, though, that's when things are going to get very messy. Say at the 115 mark, I'll spawn a squad in here to come try and reinforce. I think those guys got stuck in a building. And that guy's still working on Sam.
Angel down low. Okay, we start the blue one.
Oh my god.
Give me more fucking smokes to the north.
Jesse's now running around trying to cover the flank. Yeah, as soon as they mag lock that Vic, I'm gonna then have that squad go over and investigate.
Yeah, no, that corridor's a death trap.
They need to communicate with the other squad to bring a medic over to assist. These vehicles do not work. And I've deliberately ripped most of the ammo out of the non-car, like actually all of the non-cars. The technicals and stuff have some medical or ammo, but the APCs, IFEs, and tanks do not. Because it would be way too easy. All right, we got another casualty up there. Casualties will continue to mount.
I got Hobo.
We have a little bit of a lull here, but a few minutes, I'm going to start spawning reinforcing squads.
Watch your left. Watch that little gap to the left.
Got to see who else bleeds out. I think Ryan's going to bleed out.
I'm so freaking confused.
Ryan bleeds out.
Hey, people who are down, in group chat, give us your timers until cardiac or...
I mean, I think that's 2,250 plus that other BTR. Try and have these guys run up and explore now. But yeah, casualties are going to start to mount. Question is, how much more can they potentially get out? Because they don't have enough to hold when the real onslaught begins. Oh boy. Pretty much at that 15-minute time, 15-minute mark. They're still dropping what they can. I think they can regroup and still at least take some of these vehicles out. Just those are the cheaper ones. We got some other stuff over here, but... This is where things get a little messy. I did say in brief, if they start, you know, extracting stuff in and out, eventually something's gonna narrow down.
We're trying to complain.
But, I mean, these two groups should really consider regrouping here. But looks like they got a majority of their people up, but it still cost them 2 guys right here, so.
Yeah, grab a BMP if you can.
Next reinforcing group's gonna be... Alright, so I think they're up to $3,000 now, because it's $750 per BTR.
Why do you do this?
I think we'll do one more 10-minute timer, and then we'll reduce it to 5-minute timers. And we'll also start increasing the squad size after the next one, so we'll do one more single squad. Yeah, I don't think they realize, though, they need to bring their fuel Vic back, but now they won't be able to because now it's bottlenecked off the side. Like, did they not bring the other fuel Vic with them? Because there were 3 fuel Vics. One I know they severed, and then one they brought over here. So I'm really confused with the tactics here. Because the whole point of going south was to grab A, the fuel Vics, and B, the aircraft. So yeah, some of these cars are, you know, willing to be done, but I mean, the maintenance here is kind of mid. So you see them now getting on the 50s and, you know, taking units out. Just in case they come back here, I'm going to put some 23s down.
Standing by.
I don't think the faction matters because it's just going to be like an intentional shoot down, but yeah. Looks like they're going to now resort to trying to tow them into the open. Again, totally doable. Just you risk arming things, but... I've never seen that vehicle before in my life, officer. I don't know why it's over here. It's probably just doing like a weird little like turnaround thing, you know? That's totally my fuel truck. It's actually filled with stuff for growing stuff, you know? It's totally not fuel. Yeah. Not at all.
Send in goats.
Raven, thanks for 27-137. Keep enjoying the operations. Hope you get a nice kick out of this scenario. Why's your face hurt, buddy? So I'm waiting to hear a call to say, hey, our guy is getting detained. What do we do? Should we go up and try to rescue him? Here, I'm curious. Let's have a listen.
Pulling it over to you, and the rest of my squad hopefully will be following me.
That's Lolo. That's Lolo.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh god, if they drop a tank off while he's over there, he's like, I don't know what's going on, you know, then I don't really have a way I can...
I've just entered the town from the west. I am on the southern side. Charlie, if you mark your...
Like, if a guy's trying to, like, plead his innocence, and they're like, okay, okay, and then all of a sudden they drop a tank in front of him, and he goes, ah. he might not be able to get away with that one. To the point that he will be detained and pulled away, because...
people with you?
Yeah.
No,
It's like, I don't know why that one's there.
Okay, stop it. Execute that over there. Drop it.
Yeah, I'm gonna drop it. Don't take off anywhere yet, unless we start getting shot bad.
Alright, they're gonna call for another squad, because, you know, the helicopter, it's plausible.
Actually, yeah, Lolo, take the tank. Dream, can you land for me and my squad?
Alright, what vehicles do we have outside the town right now?
Only a Hilux with a peak.
I swear to God, if...
It's got an enemy squad on it.
Okay.
I'm not gonna pull them yet, but if the tank drops and they realize that's the drop zone, then they're gonna call that over. And then any, like, aircraft that comes in, I'm just gonna shoot down with an RPG.
Okay, Dream, 2 of my guys went down. They are still in the town, and I have one guy shooting at me through the forest now.
It's a medical tank.
Try and clear it, but honestly,
yeah, you hover around. Yeah, you hover around for now. You're getting shot.
Oh, I've never seen that tank before in my life. Yes. So anyway, roleplay time. This is all just a massive misunderstanding, officer. I run a totally legitimate rowing operation. You know, that helicopter, I've never seen it before. It just started, like, hovering around here, you know. I don't know why it is, but that fuel truck, I know you just told me that there's some that's been stolen. Not related. It is completely different.
It's a squad of
oh my gosh, look,
5 or
that...
6. I mean, we could get
what
out
is
and try
that
and deal with them,
helicopter
but obviously
doing?
That's dangerous.
Yeah, okay, now this group's gonna be called in.
I mean...
I don't know what that is. Oh gosh, yes, shoot it down, please. I don't want that thing anywhere near me. You know, clearly I don't, because I have no affiliation with that group.
Air assets. How copy? This is Boxcar 1.
It's a growing business.
Roger, we are in the
2
middle
more
of
minutes.
town. Stand by for Mark. We're at the Mark Objective Vehicle Depot. We have 2 Vics to the air tow out.
Negative on air tow. We can't do any air tows. None of you are listening. The area of the paint job has been compromised. Lolo, I'm gonna have to jump out and try and fight him myself.
No, Dream.
What the fuck do you want me to do?
Okay.
But did you not pick people up in there?
Yeah, I don't know why these helicopters are here. That's so weird.
Dead.
Yeah, Air's not listening to... Well, Air wants to try to do something about it, but Command's like, no, but like...
Contact east and get back in vehicles.
I'm gonna spawn this one a little bit early, but further away.
You need to go and pick at least one squad.
Dream, my squad is ready at the position you were at before.
I'm moving.
Alpha to command and air. We are pulling out. We are leaving. If the paint depot is foobarred.
Copy that.
Yeah, 50 does not exist, exactly.
How many, is it overrun by, like, a couple squads or a squad?
It's got, from what I can see, 1 squad, but we're running against the clock. They could have even found the painter by this point.
Yeah,
Dream, I'll see you on a map. I have 5 men ready.
Yep, I'm on my way.
So thankfully they never dropped the tank off. It's just highly suspicious that, you know, they're flying over here. So it's like, maybe you spooked their deposit area. You know, maybe it's around here somewhere. Okay, we'll bring more squads in the area. Yeah, that's what I meant. Yes, you gotta find where it is, right? It's totally not here. Because I am an honest Rwandan citizen. I would never help other people do bad things or anything. Yeah, of course. Right. Totally.
Wait, is anyone else alive, or is only that squad alive?
Alpha alive in the town with command.
Alpha,
Shame,
Charlie,
because this is like
just
4K
try to
and the armored
move to the
assets,
east.
and another like,
Actually,
so that's
just
5.5,
All in.
7, and then 775 right there alone, with a cache of stuff right there. But hey, sometimes it be like that. Now we have to play the game of roulette of, are they gonna land in front of a group with an RPG? Because if they just try to land with an RPG, I'm shooting them down. So let's see.
500. That's all I had.
See what happens. Like I said, they got 4 BTRs out. That's 750 times 4, which is 3,000. It's kind of mid-pay, but you know. It is what it is.
Just drop us next to the house, I think it's clear enough. Is it hostile?
Yeah, it's right next to the house.
Alpha to Charlie, what's your situation?
Bro. I said. Land us right next to the house. It'll be fine, right? Yeah. It was not fine.
Okay, the other helicopter died with the entirety of Starling there. So, I guess we're just getting out of the area at this time.
How many down? I think that's a full squad.
We have another Vic. I'm in the Vic that can...
No. We can't know.
Charlie, how you doing?
They are dead.
Yeah, everyone just leave.
Why did they try to come here, huh? What happened, huh? What was that? I don't know. There's maybe they really want some growing supplies. How should I know? Well, it seems like they're trying to rescue you. No. I don't know anything about that. I think Lolo called that the bird was down, but yeah, he's...
Alright.
Yeah. Big ouch. Big ouch.
Diana, you're live.
We can't.
I mean, they could drive over and secure it, right? Instead of trying to land right in the middle when they confirmed that it was an enemy force that was here. Like, I don't get the logic of it. Like, they know there's an enemy position there, so why would you try to land right on top of it? Like, what are you doing?
Everyone, let's just retreat back to the, drop zone.
Ian, there is 3 squad or 4...
I'm going to fully detain him at the 140 mark.
Drop zone. To the,
And that's even being, like, I'm trying to give him an opportunity to potentially drive in, but why am I spawning that here? That should be over here.
I mean, if you guys want, I can just pick you up.
Now we're going to start reinforcing this every 5 minutes, though, so we're going to have a lot of dudes there.
Honestly, I'd rather you stay in the air and then just have us drive, though. That way it's a little bit safer, unless we get royally screwed, but we're disengaging, so...
Wait, okay, hold on. Command, are you leaving the AR? Are we done today?
Yes.
Okay, just dismount, take pictures of your gear, and we'll take care of this.
Okay.
Just take pictures, disconnect. Lolo, I'll unattach that tank because it's worthless, and yeah. At least we also got 1 helicopter out because the helicopters are going to help with something else in the future, but yeah, this was a very mixed operation, that's for sure. Oh, what's 3,000 divided by 28? it's not a lot. Oh yeah, it started off really well. I think what got a few people was a bit of greed, and then miscommunication, and then not listening to the brief.
Just so you know, the helicopter has stuff if you want to loot something from the helicopter.
But here, let me go ahead and...
take pictures and then disconnect.
Grab
I mean, if you don't want the 5,000, I would take it then.
But again, this was a high risk, high reward style situation. So again, they're not really losing much out of this. It's not like they came in with their own gear. God, if they came in with their own gear for this one, they would be fucking furious. Is Falcon Sparrow in this op? I don't think so. Actually, I can just check. Because he was on as a maybe. I don't see him. Alright, payment calculator is going to be everyone under the operative category. 0, 0, 0, 28, 0, 28, and then 3,000.
All of Alpha that's still here, hope you guys had...
Which, I mean, is really just calc, and then 20, or... Yeah, 107.14. Everyone gets a nice, crisp hundo. How quaint. Black market guy gets detained. That also causes some negative things to happen, but don't worry about that. AO is purged. GG all around. I'll be curious to see what gear they've gotten, because again, it's FALs, mid-tier stuff, a few spare RPGs, but hey, sometimes it's life is a roller coaster, you know? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Mac wasn't a part of this mission because he disconnected. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 25, 26, 27. That should be all 28. 28 names there, 28 names there. It says 29, but you gotta remember I'm also in the server, so that's what makes the 29th. And yep, that should be it. Alright. So they were able to pull out 4 BTR 60s.
Here in a sec.
Let's have a look on his
There he is.
screen.
You're right, Mac was
He's
also on the
back.
server list, so hold up, I have an extra
Hi,
name.
sorry, we were just chatting, me and Brownie.
Real quick, everyone in the payment calculator, can you help me pick the name of the person that wasn't here? Because we should be at 27 instead of 28, because I think Mac was still in the list on the server. If you can identify who it is, then I can remove them and you'll get a few extra bucks.
Let's see.
I mean, I can go down the list and call out names if.
Well, not everyone's here
Yeah,
because some people have
that's
left
the
early.
issue.
That's the hard part.
Was Agrin here?
Agrin was here, yes. Agrin came late. Pizza was here, yep.
Silent Night
was here.
Was Gamering here?
Gamer was
Yeah,
here.
Gamer was here.
I know Reeve was here. I know Daz was here. Dante.
Silent was here.
Dante.
Was Dante?
Yeah, Dante
It's
wasn't
Dante.
here. Yeah,
It's Dante.
I don't have Dante on my list, though.
Oh, I'm looking at the wrong one. I'm stupid.
Yeah, go look at the payment calculator under the operative tab.
I know Charlotte was here. I know Caleb died. Penguin was in my squad. Kilo died. Dark Vampire died. Storm was here. Riot was here. Broadshore was here. Silent.
Wait,
Dad-
wait, no, I miscounted. Okay, we're at 27 now. We're good.
Oh,
Alright.
Oh, okay.
Beautiful.
That means we should get an extra $100 since it was a mess up.
No, you get extra.
You all get an extra $4. Yep.
yeah.
Money.
Well, doesn't Lolo? Was Lolo the only survivor?
No.
What?
Everyone
squad
gets an
survived.
even payout regardless of if you lived or
Oh.
died. That was said at the beginning of the
Oh,
thing.
sorry, I missed
All right. So I guess people forgot when I said that, hey, when you start, like, you know, putting vehicles into the place, especially if you start pulling them out after they're a different paint job, people are going to start noticing the helicopter path and then check things out. And then as a squad came up to kind of look at, you know, what was going on and the guy was there, then another helicopter flew over and he's like, I have no idea what's up with that helicopter. And then Lolo came over with the tank but decided not to release it. Great, good call, because if you did that, he would have gotten immediately detained. But then you guys tried to land a squad, like, right on top of the position, and then you hovered it next to it, and then an RPG took you out, because, yeah. And then you scrubbed it. So you got 4 BTRs out. That's 3,750 times 4.
Wow.
That'll help on the front line. That's why you're getting paid at all. And then the one chopper, I've got plans for the choppers. They're going to be traded out, and it's going to help for some deep stripe ops. So a few people gained some gear. Cool. Some of you, all of you are going to gain a little over $100, so it's not a total failure, but there was over $16,000 worth of vehicles.
Oh, we saw.
So
I saw the
Yeah, really love having a field truck that we could have used, and then we basically lose it because they go in so quickly without telling us to pick it up that it breaks the fucking truck.
You still had a fuel truck at the other place. I don't know why you didn't just bring that with you.
I tried calling on that, but I guess the range was too far.
When you call it, there was the squad.
So I heard 50 had a lot of issues here, and then some people died either because of bad positioning or a bit of greed. It happens. I'm just curious here. Contract pay. If I put 16,000.
Issues.
Oh,
Leo, how
Lord.
could there be any
That
issues?
would be
if no one
400
was
per?
using it?
That'd be nearly
500 per?
600 per. Oh well.
Oh my god. Oh well.
That would have been nice.
We got about
Shit
100
happens.
per.
Fun structured debrief time. Step and admin of Ian.
Yep. Command go.
Well, I had a plan, and then I was just going with off dream. But my original plan was to have at least one squad go north, and then 2 squads go to the airfield with the pilots. But that didn't happen, so we just all went to the airfield. My top priority was trying to at least get security, and then start looting after once we got security. But then it just devolved because I was getting both ears. So, short range and long range. Airfield, I would say I'm sorry for Bravo for sacrificing that squad, because I was trying to get Patch and anyone else that was surviving. I was like, get the hell in, because I went back for them. I saw people, like, I literally saw people in the airfield, and then a squad came from the south, and I was like, if Patch moved, if the Bravo people moved when I said they could move in or get into my vehicle, then Patch and a few other survivors from Bravo would have survived. But I think I got Stormcrest, and I don't know who went that. Then I tried to do the go regroup and then go back north, and then get that. It's also my first time. I was really hoping Mac Green would be here.
Alpha.
Yeah, Alpha.
Reeves.
Yeah, for the initial raid on the airfield, I've got to give a shout out to all of Alpha. I got down 4 times in like 3 minutes, so the guys really held it together on their own. Found some BTRs, decided everything seemed to be a little foobar. We were going to tow these out and get them done, so, I feel like that was a solid idea. Then we went north to the vehicle depot, found all the money, and we had the money signs in our eyes, and I think I tried to hold us there just a little too long. Again, shout out to the guys, though, being solid. We moved up a little more and took a vote of, hey, the painter the painter guys compromised. Is it a win, or are we just, are we going to go fight, or are we going to take the win that we can with our lives? We took the win, so again, Alpha, thank you guys for being patient on my first ever squad lead. You guys were awesome. Appreciate it.
You did good.
Bravo.
Bravo. We were completely wiped on the airfield. I'm still proud of us, considering we work well together, and then we're all forgotten together. All the other squads, I get we're getting paid for the vehicles, but if one squad is getting fucked, it's not the time to be like, oh, let's figure out what to do with this one BTR we have right there, cause we lost, what was it, 25% of the force, and I feel that could have been very useful to either take down or actually hold the painter's position.
To interject, I think I did call over 50. Hey, can we get somebody? But the problem was, I think I didn't know what Bravo was, and until I asked Patch to like mock Bravo's position.
Multiple times I said where we were. Also, then asked like 2 times for help. After I went down, then only someone. I heard someone say on 50, "Hey, do we have our stuff? Do we like leave now?" Like not even acknowledging. But oh well, people be people.
I tried to get somebody down here, but I think people were already disengaged from the airfield at that point, so I'm sorry about that.
People were literally like 200 meters to the north.
Yeah.
Anyway, Charlie.
So I step up for Sally as squad lead, so at the start I had some kind of disorganization on my own net, and when we got to the airfield, we just completely, people kept running off, kind of. When I tried to get a color team to check in, did not get a response. So basically the whole airfield time I had like so much confusion, I couldn't really hear 50, so I do apologize if you did call out for a squad to help. We were on the northern side though, so we were gonna be basically the farthest squad. And yeah, after only getting, I think, all but one guy who ran off somewhere, no idea where he went, his barrel body doesn't know, I think, and got out with one BTR. Then after that I could hear the 50 calls, but I was already disengaged away with one BTR, so I just decided I'm gonna go and hopefully even pull out anyone survivors. Then had more confusion with the fact that the BTR couldn't keep up or got lost. And then I don't know if they called on what.
Real quick, Jesse, do you mind if I interrupt because people are doing stuff on the side? You don't have to say if you died this mission because you didn't bring any gear in, so you don't have to do that. Sorry, Jesse, continue.
Yep. I don't know if my BTR crew had a third person or what, they were communicating with a helicopter for another thing than I ordered, but that was really confusing. And after I finally figured out what the hell was going on, they got picked up by a heli, we went up north. Finally at the dismount we actually regrouped as a squad. And then entering the town we got kinda fucked, but I ended up getting a tank pulled out, rest of the squad pulled out with a few casualties. And yeah, when we flew over to the painter, I don't know what dream you were planning with you said you were doing a flyover, but then you went real slow into a landing kind of over enemies.
Yeah, I'll explain that in a minute.
Yeah, that's kinda fucked us, we all died, the rest of our squad. So next is 2 pilots go over. I don't think we had a delta, so 2 pilots go over.
We did with Brownie.
Oh.
Well, Brownie joined late and was the.
Well, Brownie was in my squad.
Yeah, Brownie was fill-in. There was no delta. Pilots go.
Okay. I'll go. Just to quickly on that last little bit. Sorry, Charlie. That's my bad. I went for a flyover. I panicked, realizing that they had hit the painter's actual building. I thought they were a bit further away. They probably were, but they made their way in. So I panicked. I went in to just try and get into a field landing, where we started taking fire from the north, which is where I tried to pull out as quick as possible, but took an RPG. So that's my bad. I'm sorry, Charlie. Just a bit of just trying to get you down as soon as possible.
There's no auction today.
Make sure we don't lose that painter.
I wanted to do poker today, but I've got other stuff I have to do, unfortunately.
From the start, it wasn't great because obviously we lost Mac to IRL stuff.
All right, pilots. I only do when I do debrief command. I got a handle other stuff. Next stream will be in 2 hours. It'll be the 31st Steel Legion operation, so we'll see you guys there. Thank you so much for watching. Go operate operationally. Enjoy the rest of your day or night. Cheers, and have a good one.